All right, so I haven't been on social media for a while because I've had a lot of other stuff going on and just haven't had the life space for it. Just taking a little break from it. But I wanted to jump on just because I know a lot of people are freaking out about GYROTONIC Corporation being sold to Merrithew, and people have a lot of concerns about that. And I was lucky enough to be in the meeting that Julio and Gina and Matt had with the master trainers, and they explained kind of the backstory on it. We also got to meet with the CEO, and he talked a little bit about kind of his vision going forward for us. I know it's a little frustrating when we don't have a lot of control over a situation. The decision was made without our input and without us really having any say in it. And I understand that that is upsetting to people because we've built our whole lives around this system. And I just wanted to take a moment to say I'm not worried about this after having the meeting. Julio and Gina, this is their baby, the GYROTONIC work. They care very much about the work, and they care very much about the community. And it's clear that a lot of consideration went into making this decision that would be best for the work going forward, the legacy, and for the community. That's us, right? Going forward. So that was all very carefully considered. And this, having heard the backstory on this, and just from being within this system and for a while and kind of seeing little bits and pieces over the years, this looks very clearly to me like the best decision. So I know that people are a little concerned when they hear private equity, and that's upsetting. We think of things like Joann Fabrics, where, basically it was bought by private equity and then stripped down for its assets. So, you hear stories about a company being purchased and then like a retail store, and then all of the real estate being sold to another interest of the private equity and then rented back to the company, so that the private equity is making money off of, basically draining money out of a thriving company, diminishing it and profiting hugely on it, and then just shutting it down and moving on. So that's scary, and that happens even to hospitals. So it is a big issue, it is a big problem. And again, keep in mind, my degree is in dance, I'm not an MBA, but I've always kind of followed along a little bit with this because I find it a little interesting, and especially when they closed Joann Fabrics, I got really interested in private equity, just because I'm like, why can't I buy fabric anymore? That's another story. So this is a different situation. And so if you think about what the GYROTONIC Corporation, what it is worth, right? Where is its value? And the value is solely in the work itself and in the community that's built up around it. In the trainers, the pre-trainers, the master trainers, and then all of the clients that are so dedicated to the work. Those are the things that are valuable in the system. The individual studio owners and master trainers, we own our own businesses, right? Whatever that may be, if it's you're out of your house or a big studio, or if you're a trainer working out of someone else's studio, those can't be sold off by a private equity because they don't belong to the corporation, they don't belong to the company, they belong to us as individual business owners. So you don't have to worry about that. That continues to exist. And even like if you think of the Gyrotonic headquarters office, that's just a lease, right? So there's nothing to strip down and sell off. The only value that there is in this is the work and us. And having talked to, heard from the CEO on this in the meeting, it was clear he did his research on us as a community. And anyone who's done any research on us will know that there's no way that we're gonna be able to be reined in. We're a bunch of free-spirited people. We're not gonna like fall into some corporate lockstep. We are what we are, we do what we do. And I think that that's clear, and I think that people have their eyes open going into this and knowing what they're getting. They're getting us, right? And we are what we are. So I got the sense that there really is a true interest in perpetuating us, right? Keeping the legacy and keeping the community and building that all up and making that something that can survive into the future. So a little bit of just information that we were given in the meeting is that, and I had some awareness that there were some issues, but Julio and Gina were very candid with us on this. There were some real questions about how does the gyrotonic system, how does the work move forward in a changing global economy where we have counterfeiters counterfeiting the work and counterfeiting the training. And we're just small. Remember, we are just small. The Gyrotonic Corporation was started not by business people, but by movement people who just wanted to do this and share this work. So there have been some business decisions that have been kind of criticized by like all you guys out there. I'm sure everyone's had some issues with like how things were done. And you just have to understand that there wasn't that business background going into this. There was just passion and faith in the work. And then a great community of people around that wanted to make it happen and wanted to make that their lives and share it with others. And that's not enough to navigate the bigger picture now. And what happens after Julio, right? How can we assure that everything is carried forward? So there's some big questions. And also, I don't know if you guys are aware of the amount of work that Gina and all of the people at headquarters do. It's a huge load of work on a small team of people. And we've just grown so much that it's way too big for those people to do on their own without resources of a bigger company coming in to back that up. So one of the options that Gina and Julio had considered, they told us, was just folding the company and just letting the work go off on the breeze and let us run with it, which means we would have no trade name protection. There would be no kind of monitoring of the standard of work. It would just be out there. And for all of us that have invested so much in our education and in building up our reputation, having that kind of protection of what the name means when we are a gyrotonic trainer, what does that mean? Having that all go away would be a huge loss to us and would really eventually probably dilute down the work that's out there, because anyone could just hang up a sign saying that they were a gyrotonic trainer, and there would be no one to stop that. And they decided not to do that. They really wanted to protect the work and to protect the community, who they really truly do care about. So this was the best option, in my opinion, having heard the other options that were entertained. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I have a good friend who works for Merrithew and is also a gyrotonic trainer, who did a really good job of not telling me about this before the announcement was made. She says that she really thinks this is going to be good for us in the gyrotonic community. So those are primarily my thoughts on this. I know people are still going to be nervous about it. I have some questions too about, what would it mean here or there for me in some of the ways that I've been building my business. But I think that only time can answer those questions. So we'll see how that all goes. But for the meantime, just so that everyone knows, we were told everything goes just as it has. All of our, as we're teaching the courses, with all our courses still happen. All of our paperwork is the same. All the manuals are the same. Everything is the same. Nothing changes. Julio, Gina, and Matt are staying on. As are the rest of the staff at headquarters. So nothing, as far as we're concerned, as master trainers, as trainers, pre-trainers, nothing changes, right? So that's all, don't worry about that. That's all staying the same for now. Something may change in the future, I don't know, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So I think one of the big changes that we'll see on a positive side to this fairly quickly, I would hope, is the marketing aspect, because we have not had what most of you would consider the amount or the level of marketing for the system as a whole that would help support us as individual trainers or studios. And so it's all been on us as our individual businesses, our individual selves, to promote and market. And that's great. I'm sure we'll all keep doing that. But I would predict that we're going to be getting a lot more centralized marketing going out about the system in general. And hopefully there'll be some more of those resources made available to us as individuals within the system. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but it's pretty obvious that that's going to be one of the issues that they're going to address early on. I really feel like they're wanting to take this system and get it out into the world so more people are doing it so that they can make money, right? That's really what it comes down to, is that they're going to need to make this profitable. And the only way to make it profitable is if more people are doing the work. And the only way that more people do the work is if all of us are busier, right? And we're bringing in more clients to our studios, and we are needing more trainers to come in to meet that need. So I really feel like this is a time where we're going to have some very positive growth, and I know we're going to have to navigate it as a community because it may be a little different, and there will be shifts and changes that happen with growth. But I think that as individuals in our daily life as trainers, I think that this is probably going to be the best thing for us. So we'll see, right? We'll see. But I just hope that we can all just relax and also understand that this is just the structure of the company, right? This is not, that's brought into Merrithew, right? This is not the work itself that's going to be blended with Pilates or blended with the Merrithew movement systems. This is gyrotonic work is still the gyrotonic method. That's not getting diluted. That's not getting blended. That nothing in that changes. This is just a business structure. So I've seen some stuff online where people are freaking out that we're going to be doing everything like, you know, stop Pilates, which I was a stop Pilates instructor trainer. So I, for a good while, I'm familiar with that system. And so I just want to be clear that the systems, the methods are still separate. This is just us being like under this one corporate umbrella, which is going to give us more resources and more protection, and help us weather this global economy more successfully, and be able to carry the work into the future. So I hope that everyone can just take some deep breaths and just let it settle. But I think that we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. So don't worry. All right. Okay. I hope that helped. Yeah. Thanks.